Chris, as you no doubt recall, in my previous video, I heavily implied that I was going to shave my facial hair, which, as you can see, is absolutely true. Man, I'd forgotten how fat my face used to look before I had a beard. Videobloggery. Alright, Chris, so you might have been able to tell this, but that little segment was actually recorded a few days ago. One of the dead giveaways is that at the time I recorded it, I was clearly in my dorm room, whereas right now I'm clearly in my bedroom back at home. And so yes, it is true, I have left that dorm room forever. You know, it's kind of weird that the room where videobloggery all started is a room that I'll never go to ever again. Not really sad, just kind of weird. In one of my favorite books of all time, Frank Herbert's Dune, the character Toofer Hawat says, "Sad? Nonsense. Parting with friends is a sadness. A place is only a place." And that's kind of how I feel about leaving the dorm room. It was really just a room. A sort of dank, unpleasant room. My room at home is actually much nicer, which is difficult to tell from this video for a couple of reasons. First, the horrible lighting. I haven't exactly figured out what the best way to light this room is for videobloggery purposes. But you know, maybe I'll work something out by the time I make my next video. And second, the state of disarray that it's in, because I'm still in the process of unpacking. So now that all that's out of the way. Your last video was indeed extreme. Far more extreme than I am at all. As you know, I'm really kind of a lethargic person in general. So that extremity of extremism is far beyond what I can reach. Which means that I really don't know how to follow that video. So I think I'm going to do something that's entirely unrelated to what you've been doing. But before I do that, I'm going to try moving the light to see if I can get it to look less stupid. Ooh, spooky lighting. Ooh. Now there's a little extra light in the background, so I guess that helps a little. Instead of doing something extreme, what I'm going to be doing today is recommending some books to you. Even though I've already lent you Neal Stephenson's Anathem, and as far as I know you haven't finished it yet. But you know, I thought you and the other viewers might like to hear about some books that I'd like to recommend. This is Snow Crash. It's also by Neal Stephenson. That's what I'm reading now. So obviously since I haven't finished it, I don't really have a final judgment on it. But what I've read so far is really good. This is You Are a Miserable Excuse for a Hero by Bob Powers. It's basically a choose-your-own-adventure book, but it's like about major life decisions, like whether you want to borrow money from your parents or sleep with your ex-girlfriend, you know, stuff like that. This is Heroes Die by Matthew Woodring Stover. It's basically got everything you could reasonably want from a fantasy novel, or a science fiction novel. A dystopian future, a high fantasy setting with elves and magic, intrigue, violence, conspiracies, and basically the most badass protagonist of any book I've ever read. So you should definitely check it out. This is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. It's really short, only about 150 pages. Recently this was adapted into a major motion picture. It was an animated movie for kids. It was really good. I'd also recommend Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book, which I can't hold up and show to you because I lent it to someone else, namely your pretend girlfriend. This is The Areas of My Expertise by John Hodgman. It's sort of an almanac of fake trivia. I'm pretty sure you already have this book, but I'm worried that some of our viewers might not, which is a dangerous situation that has to be corrected. And when you're done with this book, check out the sequel. More information than you require. It's got John Hodgman holding a ferret on the cover. This is The Air Affair by Jasper Fforde. It's set in this alternate reality with time travel and stuff, and it involves Jane Eyre getting kidnapped out of her own novel. It's a really fun book. This is Caiaphas. It's a book about Caiaphas. I don't exactly remember where I got it. Not under memorable circumstances, I'm sure. This is the collected fictions of Jorge Luis Borges, one of my favorite authors. There's just a bunch of really cool short stories. This is Soon I Will Be Invincible by Austin Grossman. It's a book about supervillains and superheroes. If you like Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, then you'll probably like that book also. And this is my copy of Everyone's Normal Till You Get to Know Them. Oh, wait a second. I actually remember you spending a lot of time with my copy of Everyone's Normal Till You Get to Know Them. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice to be back in my room, surrounded by all my books, and then some more of all my books, and all the books that are sitting in boxes and stuff. Not to mention my DVDs. Poking the Buffy box set. Those are some of my books, and I'm hoping that next time I'll have something more interesting to talk about. Chris, your assignment is to have a video finished by Sunday. At noon! That's right, it has to be up by noon. 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. This Sunday. And if you should fail, your punishment is to watch the entire Star Wars Holiday Special in one sitting. And find some way to document the fact that you did so on the videobloggery. For now, I am signing off. Have a nice breakfast.